With that down, guys, let's move on to our main topic here today, shall we? And that is this. Superman is coming. Both IMDb and Fandango both just recently rated as the most anticipated movie of 2025. So people are excited about it, talking about it. We already know like Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific are all going to be in the film. And while a lot of us speculated it, and even at one point James Gunn even floated it, it is Hollywood Reporter's now made it official. Millie Alcock's Supergirl is going to be in the movie. So now it's a done thing. It's a done deal. She's going to be in it. Now that in and of itself is kind of newsworthy. I still can't get over how good she is in House of the Dragon.
Oh,
Like so good that when they did the time jump and brought in new actresses to play the older versions, people said, no, just keep her.
Yeah.
Like that's how good she was in it. And I can't wait to see her as Supergirl. But it has brought up a big discussion, a discussion that's already been around, but it's now just been increased because of this. Right from the beginning, a lot of people have asked the question, Rob, does Superman have too many characters in it? Because again, not only do we have Superman, we have Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner, which is casting genius. I cannot wait to see him play Guy Gardner.
I can't wait either.
Mr. Terrific is probably the most comic accurate translation of a superhero look from the comic page to the screen. And you got a brilliant actor playing it. You've got Hawkgirl coming in that looked great in the trailer. And you've got, what's his name's the dad who's just in Creature Commandos, Flag. You got Flag Senior is in it. You got Ultraman. We see a little glimpse of Ultraman in there as well. I mean, so we got these guys. And now, on top of all that, you're adding Supergirl. And so a lot of people are asking, it's not even a Superman movie now. It's not even a Superman movie. It's a quasi semi-Justice League movie. There's just too many characters and all this kind of stuff. All right. For those of you who watched my channel for a long period of time, you kind of know what I'm going to say, but it got to bring it up anyway. There's actually not that many characters in this movie. The only difference is between this movie and a lot of others is that you already recognize the name of a bunch of the characters. Almost, not every, but almost every movie you watch has a long list of characters in it. Not all, but there's always one or two people who are clearly the leads and it's their movie. For example, Star Wars. Look at this. You got Luke, Han, Obi-Wan, Princess Leia, Grand Moff Tarkin, C-3PO, R2-D2, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru. Like you got a ton of characters right there. You got 10 dozen characters right there. Now, before you saw Star Wars for the first time, you didn't know any of those names, but there were characters in it. Harry Potter. You got Harry Potter, you got Ron Weasley, you got Hermione, you got Dumbledore, McGonagall, Hagrid, the Dursleys, his uncle and aunt that he lived with, the other professors that are in there. Tons and tons and tons of characters. The thing is, unless you read the books, you didn't know the name. Hell, we were just talking about Christopher Nolan. Oppenheimer. I mean, look at this list. Tons of characters. Tons of actors, tons of characters in it. Some roles bigger than others. Or speaking of James Gunn himself, Guardians of the Galaxy. You had Star-Lord, you had Groot, you had Rocket, Gamora, Drax, Ronan, the Collector, Nebula, Yondu, Korath. You had the Nova Corps characters, John C. Reilly, blah, blah, on and on. There is no difference between all these movies that all have main characters, then with a group of supporting characters. Then there is with the Superman movie. The only difference, though, Rob, I contend, is that we happen to recognize the names of the supporting characters, but they're still supporting characters. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think Supergirl, before Supergirl getting added and with Supergirl being added, I don't think at all in any way, shape, or form that there's any indication that Superman has too many characters. Superman's going to be your lead. Lois and Lex are going to be your other kind of co-main leads. And then you're going to have a bunch of supporting characters. Some will have 20 minutes of screen time. Some will have 5 minutes of screen time. I think it's much ado about nothing. Anyway, Rob, you look at this, the addition of Supergirl, too many characters, yes or no? Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, every January is like a blank slate, 365 pages waiting for you to fill them in. Perhaps it's time to rewrite a chapter that's been holding you back. Life isn't about resolutions that fade, it's about becoming the author of your own life story. And in writing that story, therapy can be your trusted editorial partner, helping you craft meaningful chapters, build resilience, and empower you to live the life that you've always envisioned. Therapy can help you learn positive coping skills, set boundaries, and become your best self. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers fully online therapy, making it affordable and convenient. With over 30,000 licensed therapists specializing in diverse needs, you can find somebody who truly understands your story. You can even switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. You know, I often hear from some of our viewers who talk about having some real struggles and challenges over the last couple of years. Well, listen, we commit ourselves to getting more physically strong and healthy by going to the gym. It's time for us to commit to getting more mentally and emotionally strong by getting involved in therapy. So write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Campea.
No, you nailed it. I mean, this is a world where superheroes exist. It's not like, it's not like Nolan's Dark Knight movie where Batman is the only superhero that exists in that world. It's not like Richard Donner's Superman where he's the only person that exists in the world. This is the DC universe that is totally populated with all different kinds of metahumans, superheroes, aliens. The Green Lantern Corps clearly exists, which means Oa exists, which means all this stuff's going on. And like you said, Superman, because he's Superman, interacts with these characters on a daily basis. It's not like this is a Justice League team movie. This is still going to be Superman's story. It's just that there's a world full of superheroes that he can interact with. And like you pointed out, they're going to be supporting characters. It's not like he's going to have a team of 6 people that they're going to go fight evil. It's going to be a Superman movie about Superman. There's just a bunch of superheroes in the world.
Yeah, actually, there's one of our viewers just put Collins E. put in this great comment because, one of the things is like, if you're going to have Guy Gardner, you need a standalone Guy Gardner movie first to introduce him before bringing in so forth. Collins E in the live chat said this, in quotes, Nolan should have done a standalone Einstein movie before introducing him in Oppenheimer. I mean, that sounds silly, but that's exactly applicable here. It's exactly
100%. Well, the thing is, think about a comic book. Like I've been reading comic books for most of my life. There's a standalone Superman comic and there was a Justice League comic, so you can follow the exploits of Superman or Spider-Man or whoever your favorite character is. And then you can read a Batman and the Outsiders comic when he's fighting like the nuclear family with a bunch of his crazy companions, but you can still do then a Batman standalone book. And I think that people are trying to pigeonhole. Here's the thing that I think we're getting with James Gunn's Superman movie. We're getting a superhero movie unlike any we've ever seen before. The world is going to be a fantastical world full of these. It's not going to be this grounded Nolan-esque, I'm shooting in Chicago. It's going to be a world of superheroes and super science and super creatures and monsters and the supernatural, and all this stuff is going to exist at once. And we've never seen that before. Not the way it's going to be done on this scale, but it's still going to be a Superman movie. And that's why I'm excited for it, because it's going to be different than what we've got. And everyone's trying to equate it to things that we've already seen. I think it's going to be different.
I think it's going to be like, first of all, James Gunn always makes stuff that is very different. And I think this is even going to be different for him. So and we haven't had a chance to talk on air about since the Superman trailer dropped and all that stuff. Where's your anticipation level for Superman right now?
I can't wait, because I'm going back and looking at James Gunn's other work, beginning with Slither and Super, and then his Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and The Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker. And you think all of those things, but then he brings in things like a Superman for All Seasons. That graphic novel is amazing. So we're going to see the distillation of all this, but everyone's going well, I don't want to see a Superman movie like Peacemaker. Well, I don't think we're going to get that. I think he's doing something different. I think he's going to bring classical Superman. Like, there's going to be some of the Max Fleischer animated Superman, and then it's going to be different things from the comics, because he's a huge DC Comics fan, especially 80s DC Comics, where you had that super science world. You had Crisis on Infinite Earths when all these characters interacted. I think we're going to get something that's really different and really interesting. And, even if Guy Gardner shows up for one scene, and he's hilarious, and Superman and him, clearly they set up like these guys have had some kind of rivalry, and Superman's like, really? Do I have to deal with you right now? There could be one scene that lasts 5 minutes and it could be epic.
Yeah. One of our viewers a while ago brought up this great theory because, we've got the Lantern series coming with a terrific cast in it, right? Somebody speculated, what if Nathan Fillion's guy Gardner gets killed and the whole basis of the Lantern series is like a True Detective, them trying to figure out what happened to our brother Green Lantern. I like that idea.
That's a great idea.
By the way, you brought up Slither, just always a PSA. I know there's a lot of you who still haven't seen Slither. I still think it's James Gunn's best movie. You guys got to go watch Slither. It's so fun.
It's so fun. And and there's a lot of characters in that we have met none of them.
That's right. Didn't have origin movies.
So.
But the actors all look familiar for a James Gunn film.
Right.
That's the funny thing. You go back now and watch Slither and you're like, oh my God, this guy's in it. It's like you'll recognize everybody in the movie.
Totally.
Most of which have worked with James Gunn several times.
Any movie is full of characters that you've never met before. So.
All right, guys, the question is for you. How do you feel about this? Maybe you don't agree with us. Maybe you do have a little bit of a worry that maybe the Superman movie might be a little bit overcrowded. Maybe you're like us and you think, no, this is just like any other film. Where's your anticipation level like for Superman right now? Hopefully it'll be good. Maybe it'll be terrible. We don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.